sessions?
Thank you. I think I will elaborate a bit more on that. The most plausible feature that emerged out of this scenario workshop was the Smart School initiative, like we've said earlier. Now, what the Smart School is largely based on integration of ICT, not only in the teaching and learning of science in schools, but in the overall management of education in schools. Okay. For example, what would happen is registration would phase out. I mean, register books where students mark a teacher stands and takes like 5-10 minutes calling a register would phase out. Now, students will have biometric registration systems that are linked to computers in the school, in the regions, and in the ministry's headquarters.
Beautiful.
So an officer could sit down, for instance, and be able to say how many students attended school today, how many are absent, and how many are late. And that goes on for the teachers as well. What the Smart School enables you to do is to be able to sit in your office and spot out the particular geolocation of a teacher, whether he is at school or not. And what it does is enables you to have a very good control over the education system. Actually, you would simply know what everybody else is doing, what the teachers are doing, what the students are learning, what the effectiveness of the teaching and learning process is. I mean, you can sit in your office and monitor a particular activity of a classroom. You can link schools in the Gambia with a known professor outside, let's say Cambridge or Oxford or Harvard, to deliver a lecture across the whole country at the same time. This is what has been the type of feature that education policy makers have been envisioning during these scenario workshops. So it's a very amazing feature that obviously the foundations are being laid gradually, but what the workshop was trying to do as well was to ask for what policy actions are needed to be taken today to make sure that kind of possible feature that we want to happen in the next 10 years, okay, what actions do we need to take now, and who does what and what. This is what has been has been the idea behind the scenarios. But it was a short period of time. A more comprehensive national foresight program is needed so that we have a more systematic, a more holistic approach towards the future. The Gambia wouldn't be the first country to do it. This has been done by the Western countries in the 70s and the 80s. For instance, Finland has been cited very much. They did a foresight and they identified that their national strength lies in electronics. And they concentrated on that industry. Gradually, they come up with Nokia. I think everybody on this planet has seen or have heard of Nokia today.
Exactly.
So this is what it does. Chile too is cited as a very good example. They identify areas in agriculture, and they are making billions of dollars annually from fish farming. So this is it. It's actually applied in a vast areas, whether it's education, whether it's industry, whether it's in national innovation. It has a vast area of application. Okay. But this is what has happened during this scenario workshop by the stakeholders in science education.
Mr. Ju, what do you add to that?
Yeah, I want to say that, or I will agree with Mukhtar that we already are on the way. And to tell the nation that MOPS needs support, particularly with the private sector, as we're talking about ICT in education, January, inshallah, we'll be having a project that all senior secondary schools and upper basic schools in the region 3 to 6 will be connected we'll be introducing ICT in schools. So, we are there. Like talk about online registration, that already has started. Nusrat Senior Secondary School already started online registration, and many senior secondary schools are moving towards that. So what we are saying is all what we need is to get support from the public and the private sector. Let everybody understand that this is beyond MOPSI. This is a national issue that we want to address as a country to make sure that this country of ours, the Gambia, is counted as part of the village community or the global village community. And for that to happen, we must have all hands on deck. It's not this personnel of MOPSI alone. We need the private sector, particularly when you talk about connectivity. We need GAMTEL. They are a primary factor that we cannot do without. We need other, GSM operators to come and support. But we need financing, in terms of the putting up of certain infrastructures. You talk about sustainability a few minutes ago. And I said, as much as we are trying as a sector, we need to get support from other people. And that's the private sector in particular. Because the people that will be graduating from this education system is serving the country. And finally, I would say, for students who have graduated in the last, WAS results with entry requirements to university and are not doing anything, please let them come to the Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. They will be appointed as UQ teachers, and next year they will be provided with a scholarship to go and read science or mathematics education. That is already in place. So the MOPSI is well prepared. We almost started the race. All we want is people who can come on, cheer us up so that we'll get to where we want to.
Okay, then that was, you almost got to my last question, and that question is coming to all of you. What is your advice to the general public and the science education community in the Gambia?
My general advice is just what I said. Then we need support from everybody. This is more than or beyond MOPSI as a sector. We are calling all and sundry. And then for the students who are sitting down not doing anything upon graduation at grade 12 and I want us to underline that, entry requirement, they are qualified to be admitted to the University of the Gambia to pursue mathematics, chemistry, physics, biology. I am saying we come to MOPSI, we'll give you a job. For 1 year as an unqualified teacher, next September, inshallah, we'll give you a scholarship to go and read science education at the university.
Mr. Youp?
My advice to the general public is for the Gambians to really consider teaching. I think it's a noble profession. Gambian need to really consider teaching because it's a noble profession, and it's important that they take up the job. Okay. Usually, most of the most people actually, take teaching as a springboard, but it is it is a very important profession, and I think we should take it because we cannot develop this country if we don't have the teachers on the ground. You need science teachers, and absolutely, imagine you have 9 credits sitting the whole year doing nothing, waiting for something else. Okay, so what the director has said, really, I am emphasizing on that. Let them come up and then, consider teaching as a profession, because it's the teacher that produces the doctors. It's the teacher that can produce, the nurses, the agriculturists, the engineers, etc., etc., name it. Okay, so really, all the scientists we have in this world pass through the teachers. So it's important that we consider teaching.
Thank you, Mr. Joe. My last words would be just still part of the advocacy to call on both government and the private sector to really consider providing support to the cause of science education in the Gambia. because it is